It seems a Twitter battle has broken out between Oshaki Foster and Shakur Stevenson. How did this Twitter battle escalate? I'm not sure. Basically, Oshaki Foster wanted to call out Shakur Stevenson. He threatened to use his mandatory. Shakur said he doesn't like the fight that what he seen from Oshaki against Robson Conceição. Based off that fight, he already know how this fight's gonna go, and he doesn't want to entertain fighting Oshaki Foster. Me personally, I think this is a great test for Shakur, skill for skill wise. I mean, it's hard to knock him out. So skill for skill wise, let's see where he's at. But let's deep dive into it. This is Oshaki's road being 135 WBC champion. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about what's going on right now. What I want to know is what is going on with Stephen Fulton versus Oshaki Foster. From what I've been hearing, Stephen Fulton has signed a contract. It's been sealed, done deal on his end. Are we waiting? And they're just waiting on Oshaki Foster's side. With that being said, I think that's a great fight. It's a big payday for Oshaki too. I don't know why Oshaki's not with that. I would assume not if he's calling out Shakur. Or I could be wrong. Oshaki never came out and said he's not fighting both of them. You see what I'm saying? Maybe Oshaki's planning on fighting Stephen Fulton. Then right after fighting Stephen Fulton and defending his WBC big payday fight, he turns around and go up to 135. Mandate uses his mandatory to get at Shakur. And he talking about since nobody talking about they want to fight Shakur, he want to fight Shakur. I think there's a build up animosity behind that. I'm not gonna lie as well. I think Stephen Fulton talking crazy to Oshaki, but I ain't really heard Oshaki respond to Stephen Fulton. I could be wrong. I haven't done too much research. Oshaki said something. It would at least done a couple numbers. I'm confident Oshaki hasn't really said nothing crazy or much entertained the fight. I have heard from Stephen Fulton a couple months back about the fight. I have yet to heard about Oshaki Foster responding to that. I don't know what Oshaki's talking about with that, but he's also speaking up. He's going against the media, and he's talking about if you don't got an opponent, we could make it happen. At Shakur Stevenson going up to 135. Now, do you think Oshaki may be chasing the money at 135? Most definitely. I think the 135 division is gonna have a big change. You got Keyshawn, a big money fight, not as big as Tank, right up there with Shakur. I don't think you're gonna make as much as Shakur. I think Shakur gonna make like a mil or two more. But at the end of the day, they basically making the same amount of money, and Keyshawn probably making more money on the back end. I ain't gonna hold you. They call him the businessman for a reason. You got Keyshawn, you got Shakur, you got Tank. Of course, Tank is the biggest money fight there. And then you got the IBF. What's going on with the IBF? It's looking like it's going towards Keyshawn. So Keyshawn is going to be the first unified champ at 135 in the near future, I'm assuming. But as of right now, Vasily Lomachenko is the IBF champion at 135 until he makes a decision on what he's going to do with his career and his injuries. I don't know if it's been a year since he fought Cambosis yet. Around that time, if he doesn't make a decision, I'm assuming he's retiring, relinquishing the belt. I'm pretty sure Vasily is retired. If I'm not mistaken, it had broke news before a couple months back. I want to say like 8 months ago. Literally, like right after he fought Cambosis, he enjoyed his win. Then there was talks of Tank. After there was talks of Tank, he turned Tank down. Tank's talking about, oh, I see why you don't want to fight no more. Right when they in training camp for Lamont Roach, I'm getting news talking about something. Thank you, Vasily, for all you done. Vasily Lomachenko has officially retired. It was like in Ukraine. I can't read the Ukraine language, so I wasn't quite sure. But I did go on Vasily page. I didn't see nothing saying thank you to the fans or this, that, the third. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishments and celebrations, family, his country, shit that he represent. But I ain't never heard him say he retired or retiring for X amount of Y and Z. He might retire for a couple years and come back. I do see that happening. Vasily he's hell of a talent. It just depends on his resistance and athletic ability. But with all the punishment he has taken, I do doubt that he comes out of retirement, and due to his age, he's going to be up there. If he does come back, he's going to be around his 40s. Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather, is a Andre Ward. Like, it's very rare. Ward was still relatively young. Early half of his career got cut short. But, you know, he was hell of a talent. Bless Andre Ward. But getting back to the subject, 135 looking different. We got talks of multiple people eyeing that IBF championship. It's looking like Vasily's, he might be retired. There's a good chance. It seems like Lamont Roach is also moving up to 135. I have yet to heard him talking about something. I'm going back to 130. He's not going back to 130. I think he done made too much money at 135. He sees possible fights. He's getting cracking at 135. 130 was just too quiet. Raymond Ford is down there, but he's still an upcoming fighter. He's not a big name. He's a crash out. Raymond Ford, the YN, you feel me? So they ducking him on the slick, but on some boots and bud, but it's not really like a duck. It's just we want money fight type of energy coming from the other team and other stuff. So that leaves the possible way O'Shaquie Foster becomes the best fighter at 135. So boom, if he beats, let's say he takes the Stephen Fulton fight, right? He fights Stephen Fulton, beats Stephen Fulton, gets credit because, Stephen Fulton's been like, I thought his career was over. It has been seeming like he's making a comeback. Shout out to Stephen Fulton. Two great, impressive wins, but I do have to see a little bit more. I don't know if it was the weight. Somebody really took away your best tool. We'll have to see. That's up to be discussed. I think O'Shaquie would be the great test for that. And I think you are becoming more of a puncher. I think you're falling in love with your power, more like the Normans, and as you're going up in weight. So I am curious to see how Stephen Fulton's career does turn out as with this change coming into his camp. But I would leave like Stephen Fulton, Raymond Ford defend his belt against Stephen Fulton, come off that great impressive win. If O'Shaquie leaves, whatever, cool. Turn around, fight Shakur. You beat Shakur. You the man of 135 regardless of who has what. You just came back from two hard back-to-back fights, showed out, made a statement. Well, really a win against both them opponents, going 12 rounds or not, is a big statement in itself. It's a statement to the world. He becomes the best fighter at 135 regardless of what's being said or who has what. He comes back from being a champion like Stephen Fulton and Shakur, two highly skilled fighters. One a puncher, one is extremely skilled and kind of a puncher. I think his hands do hold him back. That's a tough fight for O'Shaquie Foster. If he could do that, he's the king at 135. We done seen Tank look vulnerable. We calling for O'Shaquie versus Keyshawn or O'Shaquie versus Tank or Keyshawn and Tank. Winner goes against O'Shaquie. You make a name for yourself. You're in a great position. You making life-changing money if you come off both these fights and show up and perform and go 12 rounds or stop. Let me know what y'all think. Those are my thoughts on how O'Shaquie Foster, aka nephew, nephew, can become the 135, the face of the 135 division. Thank you.